What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the KellyCast. And for once, Mike, well, there's two for onces. We sound good.
All right,
yeah. At least if future Dan's doing his work.
Mm-hmm.
We don't look good, though, man. We're both not wearing the Buffalo Bills gear today. Obviously, it's all around us. There's nothing we can do about that. But I don't even know where to start. The Buffalo Bills losing to the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, in the divisional round. Mike, let's start off with you. Give me your thoughts.
All the rumors are true. We suck again.
Oh, no! We suck again!
My thoughts are all over the place. At first, it was to blame coaching, and then it was to blame the supporting cast of Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Then the one consistent was not blaming Josh Allen himself, though. But then I see I see a lot of opposing teams' fans, right, and I hear them squawking about Josh Allen deserves to, and we protect him too much. And I think about that, and I go, no, I don't think we do. I think that he doesn't get enough credit.
Oh, 100%. The only thing Josh Allen didn't do on Sunday was kick the ball. Is that what you want him to do? Do you want him to go in and kick that football? Because maybe it goes in, right? But yeah, I kind of want to echo those sentiments. One of the only guys I don't blame is Josh Allen, just because he did everything he could. Okay, we want to talk about the read, right? Everybody wants to talk about the read. The throw to Shakir, Diggs is wide open. First of all, that is the right read. Shakir is also wide open. It is an anticipated throw. Allen doesn't look for Diggs because what happens is he recognizes the coverage. He recognizes the coverage. He anticipates Shakir being open, which is all true. Sadly, Dawkins gets pushed in by Chris Jones, and such is life. The ball drops a couple inches short. The Buffalo Bills lose due to the missed field goal by Tyler Bass. But if Tyler Bass makes it, who's to say the Bills' defense stops the Chiefs? They obviously didn't do a great job of it. We know it's the offseason, Mike, right? Like, this is where we start to worry. This is where we start to get concerned. And I've seen a lot of media members go one way and a lot go the other. And I think the best one, to put it anyway, was Rich Eisen, who said, these Buffalo Bills, they couldn't do it, right? They couldn't do it this year. But he's not all for blowing up the team. He said they're still their favorite in the AFC East, and there's still a chance, right? This isn't the end for Buffalo, because even though the Bills are in a cap nightmare, almost all of their offense is going to be returning, minus Gabe Davis, and the defense is going to be returning minus the safety, most likely. Maybe both. I don't know. We'll have yet to see that. But
yep.
I was angry, and rightfully so. I'm sure all of you were angry, disappointed, upset, whatever it was. Obviously, we love our Bills at the end of the day, but it was hard, and the next day was hard too. But I'm slowly getting over it.
Slowly, very slowly.
I might not watch the Chiefs game this week.
You sit on a throne of lies.
I kind of want to take a page out of Chopin Bulldog's book. I can't remember which one of the two said it, and they said, there's gonna be, we have to accept that the team is gonna be different next year. Mm-hmm. It's just plain and simple. And does it mean worse? Not necessarily. Does it mean better? Maybe it could. It depends.
But it also doesn't mean different in a huge way. The Buffalo Bills have a lot of free agents, but minus Gabe Davis and AJ Epineza, none of those guys are starters.
Sure.
So I think that, maybe where they were going is there's going to be, rookies, there's going to be some free agents brought in, but the Bills are going to do what they've done the last 3 years, Mike. They're going to go into the season looking the exact same, doing the same thing, and I have a feeling that it's not going to work. Honestly, because it hasn't worked the last 3 years, and they've just decided to run it back. Run it back is a phrase you use when you win a Super Bowl and you come back with the same roster. When you get defeated over and over by the same team, I don't think running it back is what you're supposed to do. But myself and Mike could talk Bills all day. You guys know it. We're gonna stifle our thoughts here for now. We'll come back to it. Also, soon coming up on the channel, myself and the KellyCast draft expert, Mitch, will have some videos coming out for you guys. We have a top 10, and the other thing we're going to do is draft fits for the Buffalo Bills. So if you guys are interested in that, please keep an eye out on the channel. And, we just talked a little bit about the Chiefs, and that's going to be the first game we talk about this week, the first game on Sunday. AFC Championship, Ravens, Chiefs. I think everybody in Buffalo is going to be rooting on the Ravens. But, as much as it pains me, as much as I hate it, I have to give credit to the Kansas City Chiefs for the way they handled business last week, right? Patrick Mahomes only threw the ball 24 times. Pacheco did a lot of the work. Travis Kelce had his best game of it the entire season. And that concerns me as a Kansas City Chiefs hater because they're catching their rhythm at a right time for them. But for fans in the NFL who don't want to see them go anymore, I think, it's a conundrum. How do you feel about the Baltimore Ravens, Mike?
I think that they look pretty unbeatable as well. I mean, they as predicted last week, they had some rust. I was a little off on the time frame.
Yeah, I agree.
But, in the second half, they just came out balling. So.
They dominated. They dominated C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans, a guy who was really redefining what a rookie was because he was so mature and he was taking all the right reads. There were no reads, man. Baltimore was throwing 7 kinds of smoke his way, and he was not able to do anything with it. They weren't able to run the ball. And that's what it's going to come down to this week for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And Lamar. And Lamar looked like that MVP candidate that everybody said he wasn't. So
yeah, and
I mean,
I'm not going to say Lamar's not an MVP candidate. I will say he does not deserve the MVP this season. When he got the unanimous MVP in 2019, I agreed with it. He was great, amazing, fantastic, right? And finally, he succeeded in a playoff game. We're going to see if they can do it again. But what Baltimore did well last week, Mike, was rush the quarterback. And I don't know that that's going to happen against the Kansas City Chiefs. Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones for the Buffalo Bills managed a 0% pressure rate against Patrick Mahomes. They could not get through that offensive line. Patrick Mahomes also the second least sacked quarterback in the league this year. So if they're going to have trouble getting into the interior and clogging up those lanes,
not only
hard
that,
for them to win.
Not only that, but I think that if they do happen to get through, what happens? You're leaving people open, right?
Yeah,
you're stacking that box all game.
Mahomes really, I hate him. I do. I hate him. I hate him probably a little less than I hated Brady, but it's up there. And he just throws some of these balls that I cannot believe. Perfect coverage. A perfect throw will always beat the perfect coverage. And that's just how the NFL kind of works. And Mahomes did it all day against the Buffalo Bills. Found Scantling, found Rice, obviously Kelce. We know what he does.
He did it last year. He did it last year on one leg. He was throwing sidearms. I mean, he comes from a talented family, so I mean, he knows how to throw. He was gonna, I think, play pitcher at one point.
He was a pitcher,
yep. So he knows how to throw that sidearm ball, and he knows how to just, like you said, place it perfect. Yeah, it's insane.
It is absolutely insane. Getting back into this matchup, I think it's going to be really tough to pick a winner here. Obviously, 13-4 Ravens, 11-6 Kansas City Chiefs. But Mike, we do have a second we have to take here to take a look at the leaderboard for the KellyCast World Championship, which will be decided after the Super Bowl takes place. Let's go from last to first this time. So in 11th place after the 2 rounds that have happened is everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Mickey, with a record of 3-7. What do you have to say to your dad? You defend him a lot. You tell me, hey, Dan, he may not always be right, but usually he is.
He's not right with his picks because he goes, I don't know how he chooses his picks. I think he just throws crap at the wall and hopes it sticks. I don't know. Maybe he's using an app. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I don't mean to rag on you like this, but it's pretty impressive to be that bad, buddy, through the through the playoffs.
Yes, because there's less games. It's a lot harder to predict. But he is in last place. I say it's 11th, but technically it's actually 4th because we have ties all around. So tied for 3rd is Aaron, Kevin, Mike, and myself with a 500 record at 5-5. I think a couple of these games just didn't go our way, Mike. At the end of the day, like a lot of non-favorites won. You look at Green Bay, you look at the Texans beating the Browns. Like a lot of those games kind of went the other way, but those guys are tied in third. In second, a three-way tie between Melissa, Sam, and Built in Buffalo's own Lance with a record of 6-4. And he may not be caught, Mike, but in first place is our draft expert, Mitch, with a record of 9-1. If the Buffalo Bills won, Mitch would have been undefeated for 2 straight weeks.
That is bravo. Can we go to the betting booth, sir? The actual betting booth. We need to win some money.
Exactly. Please help us out. We're looking for sponsors, too. Let's get back into this Ravens and Chiefs matchup. Let's start off with your prediction, Mike. Where are you going here?
I haven't given much thought about it, but I've been saying since we have been talking about it that I was going to go Baltimore, and I'm going to stick with that pick. I hope that the Josh Allen curse stays alive.
Yes. I think, like I said, every member in the Buffalo community wants that, but I'm going to have to disagree, man, because as much as I want Baltimore to win, and I think they could, Kansas City is just firing on all cylinders right now. What happened against the Bills is Deion Dawkins comes out and talks a little trash. Let's be honest. He talked a little trash to Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
And it didn't work out. Similar to the way the Bills of the 90s talked trash on the, at the time, Washington Redskins defensive line, calling them pigs. And it didn't work out for them. So I think if anything, we need to learn to keep our mouths shut. But Mahomes coming into this, still probably being called an underdog. I don't know the spread right now. But he has something to prove, right, in these away playoff games. And this is every year in his career, he has made the AFC Championship game. That is an astronomical stat for a quarterback to just make 6 in a row. And still counting, by the way. This could continue for God knows how long. I can't pick Lamar Jackson in good faith. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs.
And there's been lots and lots of firsts this season, including an old man getting ousted in the first round. So it's going to happen this year. It's going to be the first time that he doesn't make it.
Listen, Mike,
I'm not jinxing it. I'm telling you.
Listen, I hope you're right. I do. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to fight for that KellyCast World Championship, all right? I think this is a very tough matchup, and it's probably going to be 50-50 across, but right now I'll throw up the rest of the KellyCast predictions. Best of luck, everybody. I think the only person disqualified from winning the belt is your dad. At that record, it's not possible for him to come back.
Not disqualified. He's mathematically eliminated.
Eliminated. Disqualified and mathematically eliminated is the same, is it not?
No, disqualified feels more like you did something wrong. And
he did. He picked the wrong team every time.
No. Like actual wrong. Like you broke the rules of the tournament.
He did break the rules. I said you weren't allowed to go winless in a week, and he did it. Oh man, it's good to laugh this week because it's been tough as a Buffalo Bills fan, and I think, like I said, all of us want to see the Ravens win. So please, Lamar, please find a way to do it.
Yes.
Moving on though to the NFC Championship game, the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to kick things off here with Detroit, Mike. I know we didn't get to watch most of this game because we were preparing for our own show, our live show. If you guys hadn't seen pregame show for the Bills and Chiefs, it may be too late now, but if you want to give it a watch, go give it a watch. I think the Lions look good at the end of the day, and they've looked good all year. Mike wants to say Jared Goff can't get him over the hump. Guess what? He's one game away from making his second Super Bowl. So I want to leave all that at the door. They have 2 great running backs, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They also picked up Zach Ertz for the tight end position. I think Sam Laporta might not play this week, or maybe he's going to be very, very limited. And meanwhile, the 49ers have Deebo Samuel to worry about, who is considered day-to-day right now. There's a 50-50 chance he plays on Sunday. And if he doesn't play, I'm giving my edge to the Detroit Lions. But I'm not quite predicting just yet. Mike, the 49ers did not come away the way the Lions did, right? That game was a lot closer for the 49ers. What did you think of them?
I don't even remember the game because I've just been like wiping football out of my mind after that atrocious loss.
Packers game, Niners Packers.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Coming back. They didn't look like the Niners that we saw all season. They looked like the Niners that had that losing streak and just
100%.
Barely came out with a win, I believe, right?
Yeah, and their defense is always going to be a problem. San Francisco has the best linebackers in the league. They have a great defensive line, probably top 5 in the league, and they're always going to be close.
They were getting stopped. They were getting stopped heavy early. So
yeah, and Debo went out in the first quarter, and that obviously hurt their offense. I believe they said something like they average 1.5 yards to 2 yards less when Debo Samuel is not on the field. So he's a real difference maker for that offense. But barring Jordan Love throwing that ball on 1st and 10 to the middle of the field, we may not be talking about the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
We may be talking about the Green Bay Packers in this one. And I think obviously that's what Detroit wanted. They wanted to see the Packers.
Oh yeah. I think Detroit would have murdered the Packers, to be quite honest. I mean, it could have been a close game, but
remember, that's a division rival. That would be the third time they're playing each other.
Yeah. But
a lot of similarities.
I think they would have on a mission, the mission that these guys are on. I think they look like the Baltimore of the NFC right now.
Okay, that makes sense. I like that. The 49ers obviously come in with Brock Purdy, who is one of the most criticized quarterbacks in the league, and I still can't tell if it's justified or not because I've criticized him and I've praised him. I kind of do both. It depends on your performance, and I think that's how it should be, Mike. I don't think that because Aaron Rodgers throws a really nice ball that we should consider him a top 10 quarterback still just because he's Aaron Rodgers. Well, I think maybe CJ Stroud is in that conversation nowadays because he had such an amazing season, not even just for a rookie, guys. He had such an amazing season for a quarterback in the NFL. I think he finished with 5 turnovers, 5 interceptions on the regular season. And he missed, 1 or 2 games? Insanity. So I think Purdy is criticized, but it's fair, usually. Some people take it too far.
Yeah, some people say he's a system quarterback, and we may never know because San Francisco just has a great system.
They do.
For quarterbacks, period.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan.
Whether you're high on the talent list or right about here. I don't know about here.
Well, to be fair, we haven't seen anybody high on the talent list there. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo and now Brock Purdy. That's it. Those are your only examples. Sam Darnold played a little bit, and the backup last year, who I'm forgetting the name of, played last year as well. He's not there anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Lance.
Was it Lance?
Lance?
No,
yeah.
Lance was hurt last year.
That's right.
He got injured in week 1. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Going back into this game, let's start with the KellyCast crew. Their predictions will go up right now. Again, short week, everybody, so we hope you enjoy this long video. And don't forget to leave a like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed. Leave a comment on who you think is going to win. We'd love to involve more people. Mike likes adding more people every week. He thinks it's very fun.
I love it.
So,
I love it. It shows my true mediocrity.
When you can't say the word mediocrity, you're pretty mediocre. Let's get into Detroit, San Francisco, Mike. I'm taking the Detroit Lions because in the other matchup, I picked the team who I think is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And in this matchup, I want to pick who I want to win. I do not want to see a Chiefs and 49ers Super Bowl. I've seen it before.
I think if Goff can hold off on those turnovers that he's somewhat known for,
okay.
I think that he can pull it out, and I'm actually going to agree with you on this one. Okay. I think Detroit can do it. I think this might be their year to go. I don't think that they're going to win it all necessarily. Okay. Excuse me. We'll have to see how they do this week. Obviously, how close it is, how maybe far away it is. We never know, of course.
Exactly. I think that's fair.
I think Detroit's going to the Super Bowl this year.
Okay, interesting point. You want to bring up Jared Goff, you want to talk about turnovers. Last week, 30 of 43, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. So if he continues to play like that, the Detroit Lions are going to have a chance. Mike, you got to check your stats before you talk, buddy.
Pulling that Skip Bayless stuff again.
I don't like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown last week, 8 for 77. Laporta, 9 for 65. Gibbs in the air, 4 for 40. They're spreading the ball. They have so many weapons in Detroit. And I think that's what you have to look for. They're really going to have to do what the Bills did against the Chiefs, but to a better degree if they want to win the game. They have to control the clock. You have to keep the ball away from the San Francisco 49ers because long drives, right? Keep them off the field. But against possibly the number 1 defense left in the game, I think it's going to be really, really difficult. A fun day of football on Sunday, if you guys are in the mood for football, of course. I know plenty of people who, after the Bills lose, Mike, they don't care. They don't watch, and that's how they do it. It's not how we do it. Sometimes I wish it was. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I picked up gardening, Mike. Why did I have to become a football fan?
Yeah, well, I everybody who knows me knows hockey's pretty much my number 1 sport, and I haven't watched that in nearly 2 years, pretty much. So
even 2 years ago, you weren't watching much. You weren't watching much of this.
I said more than 2 years. So
they've been giving you nothing to watch. It's really disappointing the way that works. And I don't know when we decide to shift blame onto ownership for the way the Buffalo sports kind of run. I think a lot of people consider it now because of how many head coaches and stuff they went through. Obviously not the problem with the Buffalo Bills. We're going to be going through with Sean McDermott. We know that. Don't know about the offensive coordinator. Don't know about the defensive coordinator. And obviously some retirements, free agents, and the draft. Remember, keep up with your draft coverage here at the KellyCast with our expert Mitch. We want to thank you guys for watching all season long. We're going to be trying to bring you guys at least 1 video per week during the off season, as long as there's topics and things to talk about. Myself and Mike are going to do our best to bring you those videos. Thank you for a wonderful season. Again, don't forget to leave a like, share, subscribe to the channel. Find us on all social media channels at the KellyCast. A somber Go Bills, Mike?
Go Bills. Take the Sabres.
That was more of a confused Go Bills, but
no. I was saying Go Bills and take the Sabres with you. It was just computing. I was pulling a
RoboCop in the game you were playing a couple minutes ago. Thanks again, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the games with your family, with your loved ones. And we'll see you next week.